Julia Spencer is a real estate investor with over 25 years' experience who owns multiple investment properties. She's a single mother of two who moved to the U.S. in 1993 with only $20 in her pocket. She currently holds an MBA. Julia Spencer is neither a realtor nor an attorney, and the contents of this recording are only her opinions. Get her free guide to investing at juliamspencer.com. I'm your host, Dr. Steve G. Jones, multimillionaire and hypnotherapist. My website is stevegjones.com. Module 14, Finding Tenants.
So this next module is about tenants, how to find low-maintenance, long-term tenants who take care of your property. This might be something that is usually taken over or taken care of by your property managers, depending on what kinds of property managers you have. However, it is good for you to understand the little details of how to find good tenants, just so you can understand how your property manager works, and so you can tell your property manager properly what kinds of tenants you're looking for. Now, as with all my other modules that I've already discussed, most of my properties are either small little bungalow beach houses that I use as vacation rentals, and the other ones are single-family homes that are detached, usually with a one- or two-car garage, small 3-bedroom, 2-bath properties. So for my types of properties, there's a typical type of tenant. And over the years, I'm looking for that particular type of tenant because I know that's the kind of tenant that's going to work out over time the best versus some of the other tenants that I've had that aren't maybe a good fit for my kinds of properties. So let's talk a little bit about the long-term rentals. For my types of properties and where they're located, usually small families, maybe starter families, beginning families, maybe with small children, that's usually what I'm looking for. I'm looking, some of the things that my property manager checks for me that I used to do myself is checking the income levels of those, whoever's applying to live in any of my properties. There's a standard way to check a background for a tenant as well as a credit check. People usually have problems, and sometimes those problems go over into their credit scores just because people have divorces, they lose money on investments, they lose their job. Things happen, and sometimes that looks bad on the credit score. And so a lot of tenants that apply sometimes say, well, my credit really isn't that good, but that's the reason I'm trying to rent, and I can't physically get a loan for a house right now, even though I might be a good tenant. But please accept me anyways, because otherwise I would have to rent an apartment complex, and they're very expensive, and I'd rather have a little house for my family, my little dog or whatever. So in those kinds of cases, well, in this case, or in some of these more recent cases where I had this happen, I let the property manager handle this. And my property managers have many, many, many more properties than I have personally. They have the experience. They have seen what kinds of things that they're looking for. So they will have a pre-established credit score under which, if somebody comes under that credit score, they won't be able to be approved for a particular property. Now, I don't have these numbers anymore. I don't use those numbers anymore. But usually when somebody had very recent credit problems or credit problems that are spread out over several years in the back, I'm going to be very, very hesitant in renting a property to them. So I'm looking at very stable people that have paid their dues, people that I'm not personally associated with. It could be another introduction of a whole host of problems if you're starting to rent to friends or family. Don't do it. And basically, a credit score that's decent for the type of person that I'm looking for. The background check is an important thing. You don't want to have a criminal move into.
For your free guide to real estate investing, visit juliamspencer.com.